So in this video, we will talk about different methods which can be used with string data types. And this is the syntax of the capitalized method. With this method, we can convert the first letter of any string or multi-word string into a capital, and the rest of the characters will gonna convert it into a lowercase letter. As we can see here, text hold the string hello world. So when we do text.capitalize, the first here H is converted into uppercase, and all the rest of the letters here gonna convert it into lowercase letter. Then we have the second method called center, and this is the syntax of it: length and character. Character here is an optional, so when we don't specify anything here, by default it takes space. So what it does is it will center align the string within the specified length of the space. For example, here the string is apple, so we have specified text.center 20. So this string apple will be center aligned within 20 spaces, as we can see right here. Then our third method is count, and we specified the value here. Start and end is optional here. So what it does is it will count any specific character. Whatever character we're going to specify in the value here, it's going to count that character within the string. Then we have the method called ends with. What it does is it will check if the string ends with certain character or certain word. For example, our string is hello world. If we do text.ends with world, it's gonna give us true. Why? Because this string hello world ends with this string world here. Okay, so it gives true and false. So in this case here it's true. Expands tab. What it does is when we have a special character like \t, which in the Python means when we give \t, that means we have to give 8 empty spaces. That's what it means. That's why we call it special character. Any character that is followed by a backslash becomes a special character. Okay, so when within a string when we see \t and we use this method here, expand tab, what it does is it will replace all the \t with the 8 empty spaces by default. And if we specify the like number 2 here, so what it does is it will replace backslash with 2 empty spaces. So we can specify here by how many empty spaces we want to replace \t. Like here we did text, so this is text is our apple here, so we have a and then \t, p \t. So we did text dot expands tab and then within a bracket 2. So this \2, so this \t will be replaced by 2 empty spaces. As we can see, there are 2 empty spaces within all the characters within this string apple here. Then we have find method. So what find method does is it will find the character we're going to specify in this value here, and it will give the index of that character within a string. And if find cannot find that character within a string, it will give us -1. Okay, and the start and the end here, they are optional. So when we provide start value and the end value here, it's gonna start finding the character specified within the value starting from the start index, and it will end at the end index. So within the start and the end index, it will try to find out the index of the value, any character which is specified with this value here. Now there is also another method called index method. The index method works exactly the same as find method. The only difference is with the index method, when it cannot find the character within the string, it gives us as an error. Whereas with find method, it gives -1. Let's see this in a practical. So hello world is our string here. Now for the hello, the first letter H is small, and for the string world, the first letter is capital. So when we do a.capitalize, it's gonna convert the first character of the first word into capital, and all the rest of the character gonna be converted into lowercase like this. Okay, so we have this string here. Now it's gonna convert this first H into capital, and all the rest gonna convert it into a lowercase letter. like this. Now in this string we have hello world. Now the first word is hello. Now in front of H we have a space. So when we have any space or any like a digit like 1 2 3 or any other special character in front of the first character, then that first character is not affected by this method. So here we have space and then small h. So this h, which was supposed to be converted into capital letter, will not be converted into capital, and it's gonna stay as it is. Whereas for the word world, it will work fine. So if you do like here, so see this h is not affected. So h is, this letter h is still lowercase, whereas when with world, the first character was w, that is converted into a lowercase letter. Okay. Now here we have our first two characters are number like 23. So this h here, which comes after 23, will not be affected by the capitalized method. So h is not affected, whereas in world, the w is converted into a lowercase letter. Yeah. But when we, now in this example here, now what I said is when the first character, when we have any other digit or any special character or space in front of the first word, then the first character, like here h, will not be affected by this method, right? Whereas for the second word, here we put 3 in front of the second word, so the first character in the second word, which is w, will be affected by this method. So in this example, as we can see, this w is converted into lowercase letter, whereas this h is exactly the same, it is not converted into uppercase letter. Okay. In this example, we took string as hello, and then we use the second method, that is a.center, and then we gave 20 here. Now we didn't give the second parameter here, which is optional. So what it does is it's gonna center align the hello within 20 empty spaces, as we can see in this example. So here we use the second method a.center, and then we gave 10 here. So this hello string will be center aligned within 10 empty spaces. Now this is our second index for this method center. Now in this example here, we gave 10 here, so there are going to be 10, and the second parameter is a hash here. So there are going to be 10 hash, and within 10 hash, our string, that is hello, will be center aligned like this here. Then our third method is a.count, and then we have, so we, in this bracket we put the letter which we want to count within this string. So we put letter L here, so there are 2 L's here, so it gives us answer 2 here. Okay, now here we put letter H here, so there is only one H within this string hello, so it gives us 1. Now the letter D is not present within this string, so it gives us 0. In this method, we use a second syntax for the count method. So a.count, and then the letter which we want to count, which is O here, and then we give the syntax start index and the end index here. Okay, so our starting index is 3. So if we count within this string 0 1 2 3, we're gonna start with this L here, second L, and then the end index is 7. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so we're gonna go from here to, now actually the 7 ends right here. So what happened is, with the count method, we gave the first starting index is 3, so it's gonna be 0 1 2, it's gonna start with this L here. So this L is from where it's gonna start counting 4 5 6 7. When we give the last index as 7, which is here the end index, it's gonna count from here, this value until this value, right? So the 0 within this highlighted value should be 2. Like there are two O here, it should be 2, but look at the answer now, it gives us 1. So what happened is, if we count from this to this, like here, and the last character is the one which we are trying to count. So here the last character is O. We need to go one index, we have to add one more index to it. So what I'm trying to say is like this. So we have to count how many times O appear in this string. So we're gonna count with 3, which is L, and it's gonna count from starting from this, and then we're gonna all the way up to R here. Okay. So the last character should not be the one which we are trying to count, because if the last character within our index is the character we're trying to count, it will not count that last character. Okay. So here it starts with L, and the last character here is R. So it's gonna count 0. You're gonna count O as 2. So within this string, the O is 2. Okay. Let's see one more example. So I wanna count L, and I gave index 1, 2, maybe 9. Okay. So there are 2L within index 1 to 9. So if we see 0, 1, it's gonna start with the E. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's gonna count up to this value. Okay. Actually 9. This is a 9 here, but because we are trying to count L, and L is the last character here, so it will not count the last character. Next method is ends with. What it does is it will check if our string ends with the certain character or the string we have specified within the bracket here. Here our string is hello world, so we did a dot ends with world. So this string here, hello world, ends with world, so it's gonna give us true. Now we can also do here, now the string here, the world, we can also check it like a dot ends with. Instead of world, we can put ORLD. So this string here, hello world, it does end with ends with ORLD, so it gives true. We can also do this one as a dot ends with RLD, or just LD, or just D. It's gonna give true for all of these. Now if we do, now this should be false. Okay. Now if we do this one here, a dot ends with, we put OW here. Okay. So, and we put the index here. Starting index is 1 and the end index is 6. So it's gonna check from right here 0, 1. It's gonna start with E. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This highlighted here. It's gonna try to see if this string here ends with OW. Okay. Now again in this example, this is what we also saw in the count. So what happened here is, when we put the start and the end index has to be plus 1. What I'm trying to say is 6 here pointing to this space here. So 0 is H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 index is W, and then 6 index is this space here. If I don't put 6 here and put only 5 here, so that 5 gonna be this W here. For that, it's gonna give us false. So when there is a \t within a string, we can expand that string by the specified number of the spaces here. By default, this \t means 8 empty spaces. But when we use this method here, a.expand tabs, and then we specify number 2 here. So every time there is a \t, it's gonna be replaced with 2 empty spaces. So this is what we will see. Now we replace a \t with 4 empty spaces. Now with this method here, a.find letter O here, it's gonna find the index of the letter O. The first time it faced the letter O, it's gonna give us the index value of that letter. For example here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first O is at 4 index, so it gives us the index 4. Now if that letter is not present in the string, then it's gonna give us -1. So -1 means it is not present in the string. Now there is one other method also called index method. It works exactly the same as find method, but index method will give us an error if it couldn't find the letter right here. So index method we used, oh sorry, my bad here, right here. Okay, so index method could not find the letter K within this string, so it gives us this error here. Partition method. Now what this method does is, when we have a string, like here we have hello, we have string how are you. Now with this method, whatever value we are provided within this bracket here, we provided R here, it's gonna break this whole string into 3 parts. Okay, within this bracket here. So here we have how, as one part, the second part is R, and the third part is U. So this data type is called tuple. We're gonna see in the coming classes what is tuple. So it converts the string into tuple based on the value provided here. Okay. Then we have the index method, which we have seen already. It is same as a find method, and if it cannot find the value, then it gives us error. Then we have is alphanumeric. Now this method here returns true if the values within the string are either alphabet or the number. For example, in this string we have the value hello 1 2 3. So we can see there is digit here, that is 1 2 3, I mean number, and there is also alphabet here. So this is true. So this method we can find out like if this value exists within the string or not. And then we have isAlpha method. So this method, if all the values present within the string are alphabet, it gives us true, otherwise false. This method here is decimal. It returns true when the value within the string are digit from 0 to 9. Now for even a decimal point, it gives us false. Okay, so it has to be digit 0 to 9, it gives us true, otherwise it gives us false. It can also be used for Unicode. Then we have isDigit. Now just like isDecimal, it gives us true for all the digits from 0 to 9. Okay, and for the Unicode value, if we have the Unicode for the exponential 2, it gives us true, whereas isDecimal will give us false for the Unicode of exponential 2. Now this is how the Unicode looks like. It starts with backslash and then the letter U. Okay, now 00B2 here is a Unicode for the exponential 2. So isDigit will give us true for this value as well, whereas isDecimal will give us false value for this value. Then we have isIdentifier. Now this method here will try to see if the variable which we are using is identifier or not. So when I say identifier, it has to the name, for example ABC here is identifier. So this identifier has to start with the letter A to Z, small or capital, or it can start with the underscore, but it cannot start with the number like 0 to 9. So if it is an identifier, it gives us true, and if it is not, it gives us false. Okay, so this method here will break this string into tuple. Okay, so how does it break is it checks the value here R. So it's gonna break this whole string into 3 parts. The first part is the value before R, that is how, and then the second part is the R itself, and the third part is a string after R, like this. So we have a tuple here, and there are 3 parts here. Okay, we will see in the future classes what is tuple. Okay, now in this example here, we did a.partition, and we use empty space here within the parentheses, right? So what happened is this whole string here again gonna be converted into 3 values in a tuple. Okay, so the first value will be how. So we got how here. The second value gonna be the value provided here within the string, which is empty space. So see this empty space right here, this empty space become our second value within the tuple. Okay, and the third value will be everything after that empty space. So the third value is this one, RU, right? Now if we use a value like hash here, now this value hash is not present in this value, in this string how are you. So in this case what it does is it will again give us 3 parts, right? The first part of the tuple gonna be the whole string, the second part gonna be the empty string, and the third part of the tuple gonna be empty string again. So this will be our value here. Okay, because this hash is not present within this string here, so it does not know how to break this whole string. So what it does is it will have this whole string within the first part of the tuple, second and the third part will be a empty string. So is alphanumeric. So here our string is hello world. Okay, but we got a false here because it's gonna check for whether there is an alphabet or the number, but here within this string there is just empty space, so which is neither alphabet neither numeric, so it gives us false. Here we got true because 1, 2, 3 is number and hello is an alphabet. Now isAlpha method checks if all the value within the string is alphabet. So here in this string there is also a number, so it gave us false. Here we get true because all the value within the string is alphabet. This method will check if all the values within the string is number from 0 to 9. In this string it's not, so it gives us false. Here we get true because the value within the string are all numbers here. Here we get false because it doesn't count this dot as a number. IsDigit method also check for all the numbers within the string. If there are all the numbers in the string, it gives us true, otherwise false. IsIdentifier checks if the value stored. Now IsIdentifier check if this string here is identifier or not. As I said, identifier never start with the digit, it always start with the alphabet or the underscore, and there are no any other special characters used within the string, only alphabet, digit and underscore, and the first character has to be either underscore or the alphabet. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 because the first character here is digit, that is 1, that's why it gives us false. Now this string here, the first character is H, which is the alphabet, and we have only alphabet and the number, so this should be true. This is true. Our first character can also be the underscore, so this is true as well. IsLower method and IsUpper method. As the name suggests, it checks if all the value within the string is lowercase letter or the uppercase letter. Depending on that, it gives us answer true or false. IsPrintable. It checks if all the characters are printable. If they are, it gives us true. If they are not, it gives us false. So when does it give false? When there is a carriage return and the line feed, because these two are not printable. ISpace. It checks if all the value within the string are all spaces. If there are all spaces, it gives us true, otherwise it gives us false. IsTitle. It returns true if the first character of every word is capital and the rest of the character within the word are smaller. So title means if there are two words, for example hello world, the first character of every word has to be capital and the rest of the character can be a lowercase value. Okay, so that is title. It checks if it is title, then give us true, otherwise it gives us false. Now join method. What this method does is, if there are any of these data types here, list, tuple, set and dictionary, it converts these values into a string, right? And this is the format of it. First, in the first character here I have specified dollar. Here we have to specify like this string here, hello world. Now what happen is, this is a tuple actually, hello and world. There are two strings within this tuple. This hello and world will be converted into one string, right? Now, so what should be the value between these two strings? Like between hello and world, what should be the characters? So that character we can specify as the first character for this method. Here it is $sign. So this tuple gonna convert it into hello, then dollar, then world. Then ljust stand for left justified. Okay, it left justify the character depending on the number of values specified here, right? So this ljustified does is it left justified the string, and in the number we can specify like how many empty spaces, like 10, 20. So it will left justify the string within that empty spaces. And we can also specify the second character here, which gonna be like, so if we give like 20 and then that character, then it's gonna be left justified and the spaces on the right will be occupied by that special character specified here as a second value. Okay, rjust stand for right justified. Lower will check if all the values within the string are lower value. Now when we use digit within the string, like here this 1, 2, 3, so what this method does is it ignores this digit here and check rest of the value. So we have hello, so hello, all the values in hello are a lowercase letter, so that's why it gives us true. IsUpper check if all the values are uppercase. So here, because they are lowercase, it gives us false. Is printable, check if all the values are printable. So all the values within this string are printable, so it gives us true. Now here we got false because all the values within this string are not printable. \n is not printable, so it gives us false. This checked if all the values within the string are empty spaces. Now empty space is also considered as a string in Python. So here all the values are not empty spaces, so it gives us false. Here we get true because all the values here are empty spaces. This method check if the first character of the word for one word or multi words is the first character is capital and the rest are small. So in this one it is not titled because the first character is lowercase. Here the first character is uppercase and the rest are lowercase, so this is a title and it gives us true. This gives us false because the first character is uppercase, but again we have L and L uppercase here too, so this is not titled, so false here. Now this syntax here is for the tuple. Okay, this method here join, what it does is it converts all the iterable data types, for example tuple or list, into a string. And now when this string will be joined, so we have to specify which character we want within these two strings, 2 or 3, whatever strings are mentioned here within this bracket here. So because I put dollar here, so this tuple value is combined here into string, and the value in between is the character within this is dollar here. So hello dollar hi. Now this is a list. Now we can join all this value within the list because here list is also iterable and tuple is also iterable, so this can be converted into a string. So how we do that? So this time let's say we want to join this list into a string and we want the value in between as %, dot join a. So now see, all these values are converted into a string and the value in between these two characters is % because we provide % here. Here we provided no value within the within this code here. So here this value is converted into string, and in between these two characters there is no value because we provided no value here. Here we provided one empty string. So this is how our value will look like. So here a dot L is for left, justified, and we provided the value 10. So there will be 10 empty spaces and hello will be towards the left of that value. This is the second syntax where we provided the second value within the parenthesis. Now here same thing will happen. This value a, which is the string hello, will be left justified and the values on the right will be replaced by $. This is right justified, exactly same as the left justified. The only difference is the value the string will be towards the right. Here we provided the second parameter here within the parenthesis, and the values towards the left of this hello, which are empty spaces, will be replaced by this $. L strip stand for left strip. What it does is if there are empty spaces in front of the string or towards the left of the string, it will replace that empty spaces, it will remove those empty spaces from the left of the string. So if we have string like this, there are empty spaces and then hello, so text dot ls strip gonna remove these empty spaces from the left of the hello. R strip is for right strip, same as the left strip. It removes the empty spaces from the right of the string. Now with this method here, make trans, what happened is first we have to create a map. Okay, now if within a string we want to replace certain character with some other character, and or we also want to delete certain character, then we can use this method. So how this works is, if there's a string and we use this method make trans, like here we have a string hello and we use this method text.makeTrans, he as a first parameter, bi as a second parameter, o as a third parameter. So every time it will see h and e within the string, it will replace h and e with b and I. Okay, like in this text hello, we see h and e, so h and e will be replaced by bi. So this string will become from hello to I think below. it will become below. And we also provided the third parameter, which is optional. If we provide the third parameter, then that character will be deleted from this string. So from this string, h will be deleted and he will be replaced by bi, and our final string will become this bill. Okay, and this method we cannot use alone. We have to use this method with the translate method. Now with this method, as the name suggests, it will replace the old value with the new value. And the third parameter, count, here is optional. This specifies how many values we need to replace. So if we have the string like this one, and we replace the first the string with the second string, so this string Jai Jawan Jai Kisan becomes Hail Jawan Hail Kisan. Okay, and then we have this method rFind. Now we have already seen the find method. Now what this find method does is it will find the value specified within the value, and start and the end index is optional. If they are provided, it will find the value within the start and the end index, but it will find from the right side of the string. The find method normally works from left to right. This rFind, where r stands for right, gonna find from right to left. So here our value a has a string hello, and there are some empty spaces right and left of the hello. So when we do a.lstrip, it removes all the empty spaces from the left of the string hello. Now in this method here, it removes all the empty spaces from the right side of the string hello. And there is also a method called strip, but if we use a.strip, the method strip, what it does is it removes all the empty spaces from the left or the right of the string, or from the front or the back. So a.strip here, we see within this string here there are empty spaces in the front, to the left, and there are empty spaces to the right of this string here. So a.strip will remove all the empty spaces like this. This is how the make trans method works. So it always works with the translate method. So as we can see here, we have a string hello. So the first string he will be replaced by bi, and the third character here, the third parameter, that is o, will be deleted from this string. So o will be deleted, so o is out. He will be converted into bi, and our final string will become bill. The a.replace method will replace the first string with the second string. So hello world become hi world. So this method a.rFind is exactly the same as the find method. The only difference is it will try to find this character specified here within the parentheses, starting from the right to left. So as we can see, o from the right to left is right, this one, right? In world we see one o. Now let's check the index of this one. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So o is present at the 7th index. If you find using a regular find method, it's gonna find o from left to right, and it's gonna give us the index of that value. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4th index. R partition. Now we have seen the partition method before. So R partition will work exactly the same, the partition method. The only difference is it will start looking from the right of the string and it go towards the left. So if our string is the man, the machine, the tire here, and we give text.rPartition within this parenthesis. Now this is our separator, the. So it's gonna move from right to left. So from right, the first word, the string is tire, and the second one is the. So this the will be our separator here. So the whole string will be divided into 3 parts. One part will be the man, the machine, and then the second part will be this separator the, and the third part will be this tire on the right side of the separator. Split method. What it does is, we have seen the join method in the past. Join method what it does is it convert list or the tuple into a string. Split method does just the opposite. It converts a string into a list, and this is the format of it, text.split, and we provided the separator here, and this string hello world will be converted into this list here like this. R split is same as a split, but split will happen from the right towards the left. So split line, just like the split, it converts a string into a list, but it will split the line where it's a new line, like a character \n is present, right from there it will split the string into a list. Swap case, it converts within a string, all the lowercase will be converted into uppercase and the uppercase will be converted into lowercase. Title, it converts the string into a title, so the first character of every word will be uppercase. Upper, it converts the string into uppercase, and just exactly the upper, there is a method called lower, it converts the string into lowercase. So we did a dot r partition. Now we know in partition the whole string will be converted into tuple and it will be divided into three parts: the part before the separator itself, and the part after the separator. Now here the separator is the, but we're gonna check from right to left. So when we move from right to left, our separator is right, and this is our separator here, the. Okay, so this whole string will be converted into three parts: the part before the separator itself, and the part after the separator. So it becomes like this. Now if we do regular partition method, now the within the parenthesis is our separator, but it will check from the left to right. So this is our separator right here. Okay, so the string gonna be converted into, first part will be empty because there is nothing in front of the. Second part will be the, and the third part will be everything that comes after the. So this string becomes like this. Okay, so when I do a dot split here, it will split this whole string into a list, and by default I haven't specified the separator here, so it will use this empty space as a separator. So this is what we get. Okay, now here we use this O as a separator. So what happened is, it will check with this word, first string here. So there is a O here, right? So it will separate this full string. It will take the character before O, so it will become HELL. So that will be our first value within this list here. Okay, and then because this O is used as a separator, so this will not be taken. And then after that we have W as a second value within this string, within this list here, and because there's a separator right here, so this value is not taken, and then we get the value after separator, that is RLD. Here by default empty spaces are used as a separator, so we're gonna have this value, R and U as a separate value within the list, like this. Here a dot split lines will convert the string into a list again, but it will split depending on the new line. That means \n. Now within this string here, so using this string here, hello, how are you, because there is no \n here, there is only one value here, \n, right here after the string. So there is no value within this string, so just one value is taken within the list. Now within this string there are two \n, so this whole value will be splitted where this \n is, and it will convert into list like this. So we have value hello, and this \n is our separator, and then value how, and then value r. So this method convert all the lowercase into uppercase and all the uppercase into lowercase. If we do a dot title, it converts the whole string into a title. So the first character of every word will be capital and the rest will be lowercase. So this is what we will get. As we can see, the first character of every word is capital and the rest is lowercase. Upper converts the value into uppercase letter. A dot lower converts into lowercase letter. With this, we are going to finish this video. So if you learn anything from this video, please like and subscribe the channel. See you in the next video.